I think reputation, because a number of people talked about St Clare's. I also like the idea of doing a course in and amongst students rather than just in a hotel somewhere. And St Clare's is a really nice setting.
I looked into the facilities and the type of teaching and the fact that we'd be teaching live classes. And I particularly liked that side of the teaching, which was the opportunity to get into a classroom with actual learners and do some proper classroom practice.
I did my normal undergraduate degree. I went into business, did an MBA, so I got a master's a bit later. I spent 35 years in industry, everything from graduate trainee through to CEO of a manufacturing group, and kind of retired a couple of years ago. So I have no teaching experience, but bringing that business experience with a CELTA into teaching seemed like a good idea. I think it would be really fun.
My professional experience is in international heritage, so I thought that English teaching would be a good enhancement of the stuff I was already doing in an international environment. But since completing the CELTA, it's got lots of ideas going in my head into how I can integrate language learning skills into the work that I already do, different environments that you can apply language teaching in. I don't know, it's really expanded my idea of what English language teaching could be and what my existing professional life could be.
No teaching experience. I used to work in insurance and I wanted a change of career, be able to travel the world, and it seemed like the best way to do it.
I'm a slightly more mature student, so actually I've had a career in marketing, mostly in the IT industry, and a number of different companies and different organisations in that industry and in other places. So really I'm looking for a change of career. I have done some teaching, a little bit of English teaching, but obviously with no qualification. But when I've lived abroad, people are often interested in conversational English classes. I am actually also a qualified fitness instructor, so I teach fitness classes such as step aerobics, circuit training, and various different gym disciplines. So I have that kind of teaching experience, but I'm looking at a change in career and going into English teaching for something different to do for the rest of my career.
Just being able to constantly put into practice what we were being taught, so that constant feedback loop of having a ton of input and a ton of content, then time to kind of process it and then practice it and teach actual people, and then gaining feedback that was really then insightful for the following TP. So that constant feedback loop was definitely one of my favourite aspects.
The primary thing for me was the live teaching practice. So we taught a pre-intermediate group in the first 2 weeks, and then we taught an upper intermediate group for the last 2 weeks. All the students who came were very, very friendly and very good to teach, very eager to learn. And I've just learned so much. I mean, the first 2 weeks were quite intense, because we were learning a lot of stuff and we were doing assignments and we were planning lessons, and it was quite a shock to the system to start doing that. But the level of teaching's been outstanding and I've really learnt a lot.
One of the main things I'll take away from the approach to teaching at St Clare's is embedding everything in real life relevant experiences to help people feel as though they can fully get a grasp of what they're learning and make it relevant to themselves, and hopefully embed it for the long term.
I think probably how to make the classroom sort of more interactive. So rather than me stood there and talking, so learning different frameworks, whether it be like a test-teach test, or how to use applications like for games, and to get the students really involved and sort of change the dynamic of the classroom.
I think it's just be yourself. Authenticity is the basis of good teaching. Don't try and be somebody you're not just because you step into the classroom. And always have the learner's needs in mind, particularly if you're teaching adults. Adults who might be trying to integrate into a new community in a new country. There's no point just going through abstract textbook stuff. They need to know how to rent a house, how to pay their bills, how to do the shopping.
Always on hand for support, never made you feel like you were burdening them with questions or ideas, or if you were confused or if you needed a bit more time or whatever. They were fantastic, really encouraging throughout. and amazing people to learn from.
The feedback sessions and the notes that we got on our lesson plans and the sessions we did the day after teaching were also great, incredibly detailed, lots of useful feedback, very nicely delivered. You know, you never felt like you were being criticised, but obviously room for improvement on certain aspects of your teaching. It's absolutely crucial to get that from your support, your teachers and your support people. So yeah, all the teachers, all the staff we've met, but particularly the two teachers have been amazing.
Oh, Oxford is so lovely. I've never been here before. I love going for walks in the park. It's super safe. It is such a safe area, which helps.
I've not spent any time in Oxford before, so for me it was really amazing to have 4 weeks time here. Even just sort of waiting for the bus, and there's a blue plaque across the road that says this is the first time penicillin was ever used in this building, and it's exciting to be learning around the prestige of learning. It's really great.
I think I'll use it in the UK and start to specialise in business English. So get some more experience in general, but then kind of move towards business. Say, use the 35 years business experience I've got, as well as the great stuff we got on CELTA.
I have a number of different ideas. I almost definitely will try to work at a summer school in Oxford because I live close by. So there's, there's a lot of that type of activity in Oxford in the summer. Maybe not in Oxford, but it is kind of helpful for me that on my doorstep there are a lot of summer schools that offer English as a foreign language. I would like to teach abroad, but obviously my home is here. I'm not planning to go and live abroad, but I'm looking into organisations that take teachers for a short period of time. And there's various organisations that place teachers for maybe a week or two in a particular school. So I'm going to look into opportunities like that. And lastly, and possibly the first thing I'll do, because I need to get some practice at actually teaching, I already volunteer at a charity for asylum seekers. So I'm planning to, at the moment I haven't been teaching English because I didn't have the qualification, but I'm planning to ask them about teaching English classes. If I can't teach, then at least observing English classes that they provide for refugees and asylum seekers.
It's been a really just lovely, nurturing environment, really encouraging, really insightful and intense, but in the best way possible. So don't let that put you off. You're fully immersed into the process, but actually from that learn in the most efficient way. And it's been a fantastic experience overall. So I'd recommend it.
Absolutely, I would recommend it. I think the teaching has been really high quality. We've covered everything. I can't imagine that any course could be more comprehensive than this. But I also have particularly liked the facilities. I mean, you have some great buildings. We've obviously been studying in this building, which is lovely. In the library, we have a separate dedicated room for us to be in. So we have our own books there and it's very convenient. We've also been teaching down at a different facility in a different building where there are classrooms that we can use with projectors and basically all the equipment you might need. And just things like being able to print easily, because we've obviously had to produce our own materials for classes. And I think St Clare's really makes it easy for us to do a smooth planning of our lessons by providing books and easy print facilities and plenty of everything that we need to put the lessons together.